Hey everybody, it is Karen Coffey and welcome to the Art of Making Agents Wealthy. This is not the art of making agents struggle, stay in poverty, worry, staying up at night. This is the art of making agents wealthy. So as you're joining, let me know if you can hear me okay. Make sure my mic is on and it's all good. I've got some great things to share with you today. So get a pen and paper, get prepared because I'm going to share with you some alternatives to maybe some of the old-fashioned ways that you've been hearing and learning. I mean, come on, guys, it's 2018, right? So what does wealthy mean to me? When I say the art of making agents wealthy, what does that mean? My definition of wealth is more than enough. So more than enough to live, more than enough to have fun, more than enough to gift, contribute, tithe, more than enough to enjoy your life and not worry about where your next deal is coming from, where your next transaction is coming from. That is what wealth means to me. And what happens when you have enough of that? What happens when you have enough wealth in your business? You have options, you have choices. You no longer have to tolerate. For some of you, you just want to be independent. You want to be able to make choices in your life that you've never been able to make before. Maybe that's why you got into real estate to begin with. So today we're going to be talking about cold calling and door knocking. Seriously, guys? I cannot wait to dive into this one. Now, there are some amazing teachers, coaches out there that do teach this. If this is your thing and this is your gig, awesome. More power to you. If it is not, I am here to show you that there is another way, that there's an alternative for you. Again, this is 2018. It is not 1850. So let me give you a little history on door knocking. Now, we'll get into cold calling here in a minute, but once you look into Wikipedia, Google, and things like that, you're going to find that door knocking started back before the Civil War. It was the carpetbaggers. But the real official door knocker started with Avon, and that was in 1885. In 1885, you could expect the Avon lady to come knocking at your door. It was it was started by a gentleman because he was selling books door to door, and he realized that the women were more interested in his perfume samples than they were in the books he was selling, so he created Avon. That was 153 years ago. Now it is 2018. Hey Stacy, thanks for saying hi. If you guys want to put where you're from in the chat, that would be awesome, and that way we can just see who's here. But I want to ask you a question. Have you had a bad experience? How many, am I the only one that's ever had a bad experience with door knocking, with cold calling? I mean, again, this is 2018. That was 153 years ago when door knocking officially began. So what has been your crazy experience? You can put it in the chat for all of us. We love to roll in everybody's misery. So be sure and let us know what kind of experiences you've had. Say hello, tell us where you're from. It's really good to be here. This is the art of making agents wealthy. It's not about struggle. It's not about strife. It is about creating wealth, more than enough so that you have choices, so you have, you don't have to tolerate things in your life anymore. Hey, Tisha Harris from Houston, Texas, welcome. And I don't want you guys to have to tolerate. I don't want you to have to make choices of, okay, do I pay oh gosh, do I pay my admin or do I pay my office fees? Do I pay MLS or I mean, I don't want, that's just, it's crazy living. And again, there's great people out there that are doing it. It works for them. Great. If it is authentically you, then go for it. If it is not, there is another way. There is a better way. We're going to talk about it. I want to share with you how to make more while working less. Door knocking is not it. Cold calling is not it. Let's look at cold calling for a moment. So what is the definition of cold calling? Cold calling is calling somebody that you don't know, they don't know you, and you are asking for a sale or asking for business, trying to convince them. That is chasing. That is so salesy, so slimy, desperate. Door knocking and cold calling scream desperation. If you have seen my webinars, it's the Making Agents Wealthy webinars, then you know I always talk about positioning. It is time for you to step up and really embrace your value, embrace who you are, start positioning yourself as the expert. For some of my clients, you know, I always talk about the open heart surgeon doesn't go to a networking event and say, hey, I'm an open heart surgeon. Who do you know that might need a triple bypass? They don't do it, guys. Who are you? Are you going to be the chaser? Or are you going to be the one who's attracting business to you? So I am going to suggest today, I am just going to suggest it, you can take it or not, that you take a moment and really decide, am I going to be the chaser or I'm going to start attracting business? Do I want to be doing cold calling? Do I want to be door knocking? It doesn't make sense 153 years later in 2018. So again, hey, Alan Mazzetti, good to hear you. Good to see you in Newark, Delaware. In the house, awesome. So if you have had a bad experience with cold calling or door knocking, say yes, say amen, put it in the chat. Tell me, let me know, am I the only one? My first cold call, it was terrible. It was calling somebody I didn't know, they didn't know me. I was trying to convince them to do business. Again, I don't want you convincing anyone. That's where the salesy part comes in. Once you start convincing and trying to convince someone, you have lost control of the whole entire relationship. So guys, stop chasing. Yes, there are, like I said, those that do really, really well. So write this down. You don't convince anyone of anything. If you know your true value, you will never sell again. There is never going to be a time where you have to sell again. If you know your true value. So stop chasing after people. Stop saying, hey, who do you know who wants to buy, sell, and invest? Hey, I'm a realtor. Again, stop selling real estate, sell a result, earn the right to work with these people. So I'm going to give you a couple of, I guess, 3 tips that I want you to write down. So what my point is that if you know your value, if you're earning the right, if you are when you go in and go, I'm a realtor, how many people just flee the room? Because they know you're going to be, oh, don't you know anybody? And I have this listing and I'm posting it all over Facebook and yada, yada, yada. I'm not against letting people know who you are or that you're in activity, but let's do it from a genuine way, an authentic way. If you put something down and somebody doesn't pick it up, so what? I don't care. And I want you to write that down. Just say, I don't care. I don't care if you list with me. I don't care if you want to go look at properties with me. I don't care. As long as you are putting out your value, you are stating and able to express the results that you give people, the value that you have. Once you do that, guys, you're going to create curiosity. People are going to be chasing you, not the other way around. So have that attitude of, that open heart surgeon that I was just talking about a few minutes ago. He doesn't care if you book an appointment with him. He's going to be busy and he's not answering his phone at 10 o'clock at night, but that's a whole nother discussion. We'll get to that later. So Sylvia, hey, good to see you. Lee, thanks for being here. And if you guys want to put just where you're from, say hello, anything at all. If you've had a bad experience, you can put that in the chat as well. So what I want to do right now is just give you, remember, if people don't pick up what you're putting down, you can't fix stupid. In other words, when I call on a listing, I am not cold calling. I have no intention, don't care if they list with me at all. I have something of value that I want to give them. If they want it, great. If they don't, next. You just cannot be emotional. You cannot be tied to this outcome. You guys have stop. You really need to start shifting. Really start shifting your attitude, your positioning, and who you are. Be a professional. Be that expert. Stop chasing people. Stop being salesy. All right, let's get into the content. So I'm going to give you 3 alternatives to door knocking and cold calling. The first one is you have to have the ability to earn the right. So some of you have heard me talk about, stop selling real estate, sell a result. So when you go into any type of situation and someone says, oh, what do you do? Some of you will like to network. Oh, I hate it. I don't like it. but some of you are really good at it. If they ask you what you do, you don't come out and say, hey, I'm a realtor. You say, look, I'm selling my client's home. I sell homes in an average of 2 days for 110% of asking, if that is, in fact, your numbers. In this market that we've just had, some of you have those kinds of numbers. So you want to sell your result. And I work with buyers. I find inventory that's not even on the market yet. And my lender and I are saving my buyers thousands. That's what I do. I work with people to actually make them money, to help them through the situation. You're not saying I'm a realtor and who do you know? That means nothing to them. I am finding inventory that's not even on the market yet. I'm selling my homes in an average of 5 days and for 100% of asking, or maybe it's 98% of asking for you. But again, stop chasing and start speaking in results. Stop being that, oh yes, everyone has a preconceived notion of what a realtor is because their brother is one, their mother is one. But when you start talking in results, then you're going to get their attention. Then they're going to start chasing you. And you move on. You're like, okay, look, I'm putting it down. If you want to pick it up, great. If you don't, I don't care. You're going to hear me say that over and over and over again, because agents typically are very much attached to what people think about them, how they look, how they present, and they're available 24/7. It is not a good thing to be available 24/7. And if you guys haven't figured that out, you definitely need to change your mindset around that. Okay, second point. You need to, instead of cold calling and door knocking, which again, for some of you who just joined, was 153 years ago that started, and people are still training on it. And I'm not saying it doesn't work. A squirrel is always going to get a nut. A squirrel is always going to get a nut the more he digs, but by God, I don't want to get my hands dirty. I don't want to be digging. I want to be attracting. I am proud of who I am. I don't want to feel yucky. I don't want to feel salesy. I don't want to feel slimy. I want to feel like I am a professional. I am an expert. I am the best at what I do, and people come after me. So the tip number one was stop selling real estate and sell your result. In your marketing, in how you speak, when you meet people, sell your results. Quit telling people you're a realtor. Tell them what you do, what the results are. Okay. Second thing, that instead of door knocking or cold calling, you want to layer on systems. In other words, you don't put your money all on one color when you are gambling. You have to diversify. You don't put all of your money in real estate. You don't put all your money in the stock market. You have to diversify. Your real estate business is the same way. For you to create a consistent high-level income, you have to be able to layer on systems that will create that. It is a machine. It is not about, oh, I'm just going to go do this. This is my shiny object of the week. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? There are 1,000 ways to sell real estate. You can either do them all and do none of them well, or you can figure out what 3, 4, 5 systems work to explode. In one of my past live streams, I was talking about, I'm like this mad scientist. Over the years, I would put this in the bucket and I would put that in the pot and I would put this and nothing worked. And then all of a sudden you put all of these things in and it explodes. So here's the cool thing. It doesn't take years to do this. It does not take years to do this. This is the lie. What is the lie that you've been told? You need to be available 24/7. You need to answer your phone. You have to chase after clients. You have to be always on that phone. You always have to be knocking on those doors. That's the lie. And that it takes 3 to 5 years for you to get traction in your market. So here's the truth. No, it doesn't. It's pretty simple. It doesn't. So, and this is what I've discovered over the years. This is how I created a multi-million-dollar business in less than a year, because I figured out how to put all of these things in there that it explodes. Our agents all across the country, they will never refer us to anybody. Why is that? They don't want their agents in their office or their competition knowing what we're teaching. And I know that sounds crazy. I'm not trying to sell you anything. Watch my example here. I am not selling you anything. I am laying it down. If you want to pick it up, great. If you don't, that's fine. I can't fix stupid, right? You can't fix stupid with clients, with buyers, sellers. You lay it down and say, look, I am saving buyers thousands and finding an inventory that doesn't even exist. They can pick it up, or they can continue to work with the agent that they're with, or whatever. Maybe it's a listing and you say, look, I'm selling my homes in 2 days on average, or 10 days. And for 100% of asking, I get 20 to 30 people in the door the very first week. What if you said that to an expired? I get 20 to 30 people in the very first week. Maybe you don't know how to do that just yet. Hang around, you will. So if you were to say that to an expired, would that impress them? Would that be a result? Would that be something that they would want to pick up? Absolutely. So the first thing, stop selling real estate, sell your result. 2, layer on the levels, create this machine that is going to spit out lead generation, a high level of income. And I'm not talking 100 grand a year. I am talking a quarter, 250 to 500,000 in 1 year's time in a brand new market. That is proven. That is what I've done. That's what I teach other people to do. And here's the cool part. You don't have to work 50, 60, 70 hours a week. If you choose to do that, I get it. Some people wouldn't know what to do if they didn't work that many hours, but it's kind of craziness. You don't have to do that. All right, so that is the second thing. You have to have systems that combine together to create a machine that creates an explosion in your income. All right, so that's the second thing. The third is the secret sauce of it all. The secret sauce to not door knocking and cold calling. Guys, again, 153 years ago, that's not something I want to implement in my business. It's not something I want my agents doing. Number one, it's not safe. And as a woman, men, I get it. If you do it and you do it well and you like being outside, who am I to tell you not to do it? But I'm not going to put heels on. I'm not going to put my best outfit on and do my hair and go knocking on doors. Remember when you were in school? And school used to make you go out and sell wrapping paper and candy and, to create, I don't want to do that. So I don't want you to do it either. I want you to be very proud of who you are. I want you to be authentic about who you are in this profession and be that expert. So here's the third thing. It's what I do call the secret sauce of it all. It is mindset and accountability. So you may know the systems, but how many of you have and struggle with fear, insecurity, confidence, don't know what to say, who to say it to, how to hold your mouth, how to stand? I mean, maybe you don't know what marketing to implement or when, or maybe you're just overwhelmed and you have too much business and yet you know that things are falling through the cracks. You need someone to hold you accountable. You need a mindset shift. Sometimes the mindset, and I know it's not a technique, a skill, something that you can just throw money at. It's something that you have to work at. And so mindset can be just one shift can impact your income by $100,000. Hands down, one shift can make that happen. So sometimes you have to work through old beliefs. Sometimes you have to work through negativity. So here's what I'm going to tell you. The cool thing is, and I'm just going to look at my notes here, it doesn't take years to create a high-level, consistent income. I don't work with people. I don't coach people for a year. I don't even coach them for 6 months. I coach them for 12 weeks. For many of you, you've heard this saying for years. It takes as long as you give it. And what I realized is that it doesn't take a year to create $500,000 in business. It doesn't take 6 months to create 250,000. 12 weeks is what it takes. Don't buy into the lie that it takes longer than it needs to for you. If you show up, if you're hardworking, if you're coachable, this is where you can make a decision to change everything about your business. I hate that we have an industry and there's good-hearted, good-intentioned people, and they don't know what they don't know. And I am so fortunate and so grateful that I was just shown a different way. And that is what we teach. So you have a choice. Now you have a choice. You have a choice of, do you want to know what is holding you back? Do you want to know what those 12 weeks might look like for you? I myself and my team have set aside 48 hours, some appointments for you for the next 48 hours. These appointments book up really, really fast. If you go to this site that I'm about to give you and they're all taken, just check back next week. We will open up more. But my team and I have opened up, and you go to KarenCoffey.com/apply, and you just schedule a time that works for you. And what happens, this is not a sales call. Let me tell you, 9 out of 10 times you call a coaching company, what is it? It is a high-pressured sales call. This is not. I am not going to sit here and tell you, look, don't pressure people, don't chase people. We're not chasing people. We are simply setting it down, putting it out there. If you guys pick it up, great. If you don't, it's not going to be a problem for any of us. We are here. Our only goal is to teach you how to make a consistent, high-level income without being a slave to it. And what that means is working 20 to 30 hours a week, creating a system that creates an explosion. Again, it's KarenCoffey.com/apply. What we're going to do is, for the next 48 hours, is talk with a few people about what is it that you could do in the next 12 weeks? What is it that isn't working for you now? Let's clarify. Clarity is the #1 goal of this phone call. It is 45 minutes, and we just ask questions and you answer. We ask questions of what's working for you. Where do you want to go? What have you tried? Maybe we can give you some advice. Maybe we can give you some mindset help. One of the things that we believe in 100% is the skills, the 12 systems that we put into effect over 12 weeks' time. It is accountability of, let me hold your hand. We will not let you fail. But you've got to stop the cold calling, the door knocking, following every shiny object that comes down the pike every week, this Facebook ad, this, boy, I almost said some systems that I didn't mean to, because I think they're all great people. But when we want to get serious about our business and you want to move to that, for some of you, it's $100,000 a year. I don't even know how to help you make that. But if you can't, if you want to, we can get you there. I don't know how to help agents do 1 deal a month consistently. I have no clue. What I do know how to do is how to close 3 to 4 transactions consistently, how to build teams across state lines, how to build teams from one county to the next, how to leverage yourself so that you're not chasing after buyers, sellers, sphere of influence, and everybody else at 10 o'clock at night or ever. I want to create such a professional industry, and it is truly a heart of mine. So if this is something that you might be interested in doing, go to KarenCoffey.com/apply. Don't just think about what's going through your mind right now. Is it negativity? Is it a old programming that comes up that says, oh, they're just going to sell me into something? Look, if it works for you, great. If it doesn't, not a problem. We're going to be good. We're going to be good. So notice my positioning right there. Can you use that in your own real estate business? I am 100% confident, 100% confident that we can close 3 to 4, add 3 to 4 consistent transactions a month to your business. I am confident no matter what market you're in, we can build it to $250,000 a year, because we're doing it every single day. We get emails every single day. And this is the crazy part, that the agents don't refer us because they don't want anybody to know what they're doing in their market. They'll refer us to agents across the country. That is so funny, but we get emails every day that make us cry, that make us engaged, that we are changing and transforming lives. Now, that's probably not why you're on this live stream. You're on this live stream because you're like, no, I don't want a cold call. I don't want a door knock. I want to be a professional. I want to have an expert. I want people chasing me. Then let us get on the phone with you for 45 minutes. It's myself. I'm going to be taking calls. Kelly will, Pam will, my goodness, Jane, we have another Karen that will, and Jennifer. We're all here. We're all waiting. Just anything we can do to help you stop door knocking, stop cold calling. Seriously, guys, this is 2018. Let's do it a different way. All right. Well, I hope that you've enjoyed. I'm so glad that all of you joined us. Deborah, hey, hello. Thank you for everyone who has said hello. And Jane Sanders, I need that shift. Amen. Yes, you do. So what is a good script for newer realtors? Tisha, I'm not sure who you're talking to, so I don't know that I can answer that. It depends on if it's a buyer, a seller, a sphere of influence. So that might be a good question to ask one of our coaches. Get on there. Hello from Eugene, Oregon. Kristen, nice to see you there as well. So I see some people from New Jersey, some people from Jacksonville on here as well. Guys, lots of love to you, but stop door knocking, stop cold calling, stop following every shiny object, and make sure that you are creating a system layered one upon another that will create the explosion in your business. It isn't rocket science, but it is something that you have to know, you have to follow. We do teach you how to hold your mouth. We do teach you the scripts, the conversations, and none of them are, hey, who do you know who wants to buy, sell, or invest? None of them are, hey, I saw your home came up as an expired on our computer today. Are you still interested in selling your home? I assume you still do. Can I give you, when are you going to be interviewing the right agent for the job of selling your home? None of our conversations are like that, ever. Why? Because that's not authentic to who I ever want to be. And it's not what I want for you. I want so much more for you. So guys, I cannot wait to talk to you. KarenCoffey.com. Coffee is spelled with a Y, of course. KarenCoffey.com/apply. Can't wait to talk to you. All right, guys, get on there and I'll talk to you soon. All right, bye-bye.